Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a video that I've wanted to come to you guys with for a while, but I was like up in the air as to how I was going to do it. This is all about the many different brushes that I own. There's 1,000 brushes just everywhere right now. So I've been asked a few times about the brushes that I use from friends in general and then people on social media, so I thought I should give you guys a video. But because there are so many brushes that I own, I wasn't sure how to do it. I have brushes for different uses, so that's what I decided to organize them and display them that way. So the face brushes, taper blending brushes, crease brushes, like I split everything up according to its usage, and that's how I'm going to bring it to you. I'm also going to link in the description box below the video that I posted on how I clean my brushes, featuring the Sigma Spa Express Cleaner Glove. So I'm going to make sure to leave that in the description box below in case you have not seen it, so this way you know what brushes I use and how I clean them. So this is going to be kind of a, I hope not a long-winded video, but it is going to be a whole lot of information, so we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start with eye brushes. I was able to get down the main eye brushes down into one little thing. So we're going to start with these two little angle brushes. Of course, I have more angle brushes, but these are the main two that I use. This is just an old Lancome one that I had, and this is the Sigma E70. These are what I use to do my highlight lately. This has been the brush that I've been going to for highlight. I just love how it packs just enough where I need it to be at the highest point of my arch and not so much in the front and at the end. So then we're going to go into crease brushes. So the main crease brush that you see me use for almost every video is the Sigma E40 brush. These are the main brushes that I use for my transition shade. I don't think I've ever done a look since I've had these brushes without using them. They are just amazing brushes. So this is two of them. This one is more new than this one. I have two other ones, but they're dirty, so I'm gonna leave them over there. But this, you can see that this one is a bit old, so it's a bit more wide compared to this one, but it just does the job. And actually, now that it's a little dull, I kind of like it a little bit more. But this is the main two blending brushes. Then I have some, I wouldn't say dupes, but I would say dupes. Like if I did not have an E40, if you have the Eco Tools double-sided brush where one side is like a smudge brush and one side is like a blender, that's great. I have an eBay set from eBay, but the name of the company is Jessup, and I was like, an eBay brand, I don't know. I'm really impressed with that brand. As a matter of fact, 90% of the brushes that I use with the gold, actually all the brushes that I use with gold are Jessup brushes, and I was surprised that that turned out to be one of my favorite companies and all the brush companies that I have. So that's a great one that I use. If I want a more defined crease, which of course 9 times out of 10 that's what I want with any look, I'm grabbing for one of these brushes, and all of these are the same brush with the exception of these. So the more expensive one, of course, is the E25 brush. It looks like this, and it is just an amazing blending brush. It gets right in the crease where you want it to be. It's very precise. I love it. A dupe for this brush, I would honestly say, is the Crown brushes. This is the BR-250 brush. I have a bunch of them, but the only problem with these, if you're trying to save money, is Crown brushes can be a hit or miss. So this was probably, let's say, actually this one was the first Crown brush one that I bought, and then my second one came and it didn't do what the first one did, and then I ordered again. I ordered two at the same time, which were these two, and they were great. You know what I'm saying? So with ordering from Crown brushes, sometimes the brush quality is not the same the second time around, or maybe, you know, the first 2 times it's great and then the third time around it's not as great. So you're taking your chances with them, but they are still 9 times out of 10 amazing brushes. So if you don't really want to spend the money for the Sigma E25, then definitely get the Crown Brush 250. I'm going to try to link every single brush that I talk about in the description box below. Another good brush is the MAC 222. I like this brush for precision. It's just as good to me as the E25, but it's a bit smaller, so it works at my advantage when I want to be a bit more precise. For lid colors, I like shader brushes. I don't really have a particular brand as far as shader brushes are concerned. I just don't like them. Actually, let me take this out because this one's a little bit too... Okay, I use this when I'm doing a smoky eye and I want it a little bit more blown out, so I don't want it as neat. I'll use this one. But if I want my color a certain way on my lid, then I'll use a more shorter shader brush like these guys right here. This is a elf one. These two are elf ones. This is from the Studio Collection, the $3 ones. These are $1. This is the Sigma one, and this is from Echo Tools. It's like the double-sided one with like one side is a an angled brush and then one side is the shader. If I want a more defined color on the bottom lash line, I will use this small definer brush. This is a Jessup brush from the eBay set that I was telling you guys about. And if I want a more smoked out, smudgier type look, I will use my Jessup shader brush, short shader brush smudger brush to smoke out the bottom. But I more so like to use these pencil brushes on the bottom portions of my eye. This is a Sigma, this is the E30, and this is a B7 small pointer contour brush, which I believe I got from Coastal Scents. Not Coastal Scents, Crown Brushes, but I'm going to double check to make sure. But I use these to like smoke out the bottom lower lash line. I have a tendency to, I don't really do my brows on camera, but I'm gonna start. After I have carved out with the concealer how I want my brows to be defined underneath, I will take one of these brushes. They're all the same brush. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Conceal Brush, and like clean it up, buff out all that concealer, and then set it to apply my my colors on my lid. I love this color for buffing that out. I also like this brush. You guys have seen my well, sometimes I use a beauty blender. You've seen my minimal makeup where I just apply concealer. If I'm using a liquid concealer, then I'll use my beauty blender. If I'm using my cream concealer, sometimes I use the cream NYX concealer in the shade Nutmeg to just like awaken the eye area. I will go on with this brush and awaken the eye underneath here, like I did today. I actually did that today with one of these brushes. Just go in the corner, bring up the concealer some here and down here, just to awaken the eyes. This is like, today I didn't put on any foundation. That's the look that I go for on hot days like today. So if I'm doing a client and I'm like skin prepping, I'm applying, you know, their primers and things like that, I will use one of these flat brushes. These are probably these are flat brushes for foundation brushes. I would never use these for foundation. I hate using these brushes for foundation. I feel like it's just too much on the skin, too much foundation being applied. I use these to prep the skin on my clients. Of course, on myself, I would probably use my hand 9 times out of 10, but for a client, I would definitely go on with these BH Cosmetic eco-friendly set. This is an e.l.f. one, and this is a Sigma one, and the number has came off because I use this all the time. All the Sigma brushes came in a set. I'm gonna link it in the description box below. The eco-friendly BH Cosmetics ones is a set. I'm gonna link it all below for you guys. I also use these foundation, I'm sorry, these dual fiber type brushes for skin prepping as well. I like, especially when I use the Josie Maran Argan what is it, illuminated, you know what I'm talking about. I use it in all my videos. The Josie Maran oil. When I use that, I like to use these brushes. They go on so nice when I'm applying them on a client. This is the Makeup Geek one. This is an e.l.f. one. I would prefer you not to use the e.l.f. one. It does shed a bit, so don't get that one. If you want to save $1 but get a good one, you can even get the Morphe one. This is the 436, and this is just the Makeup Geek cheek highlighter brush, but 9 times out of 10 I don't use my brushes for what they say they're supposed to be used for. To set concealer, I like to use my beauty blender. I like to use the clean side of the beauty blender and set the concealer. Well, if I'm doing clients, I use the wedges. Just take the powder that I'm using to set it and set it under the eye. But for myself, I use my beauty blender to remove any excess powder. I love to use this one. This is a Real Technique. This is actually a contour brush, but I do use this for setting powder. If you want more affordable ones and you don't want to buy the whole kit for this one, I have raved about this one before. This is actually a Target brand brush. This is an Up and Up powder brush. I love the way this removes powder from underneath the eye. Really good brush. And if you want even cheaper, more affordable pricing for powder brushes, then definitely go with the e.l.f. brushes. I like this small tapered brush. Small tapered brush, or the blush brush. I would never use this for blush, so but it's really good for removing any extra powder from underneath the eye. For bronzers, if I'm going to contour, I'm definitely going to use this brush here. This is the Makeup Geek, what's the name of this? The rounded blush brush. Of course, I don't use it for blush. I do use it to contour. And for the nose, I use this brush here. This is a Jessup brush from that eBay set I was telling you guys about. This is actually the large fluff brush, but I like to use it to contour my nose. And for bronzers, as you guys know, I really don't contour, but I really like to look very, very bronzed. So for that, I will use these big brushes. The main one, 9 times out of 10 you'll see me using, is this one here. This is a Jessup brush. This is a large powder brush, but I do use it, of course, to bronze. I like to look bronzy. I like to look glowy and golden. So this is the one I'll reach for. If you do not want to get this set and you want to get something that you can get your hands on without having to order, the e.l.f. complexion brush does the job just as good. It's not as big. Let me look at the more newer one. It's not as big as this one is, but it still does the job, and if you know how to maneuver it, trust me, it'll work out just fine. I love both these brushes. Of course, this one more because it's a bit bigger, but this one does do the job, and before I had this one, I definitely used these. For powdering the brush, I only use 3 brushes. The main one that I use, that for me, that I love, is this little baby right here. This is actually a BH Cosmetic brush set. It was like a travel size brush set. It came with like 5 or 6 brushes. This is the one that I like to use for my powder. So when I'm setting my face or whatever, this is the brush that I grab for this little baby right here. And I'm surprised because I have a lot of powder brushes, but this is my favorite. And from Sigma, I have 2. I have the F30, which is just the large powder brush, and the F25, which is the tapered blending brush. So sometimes when I set my face and I'm going to remove the powder and I don't have a setting powder, this one gets in the creases just as good. So I'll take my setting powder's already on my face. I'll take my regular powder and just do the face and dust off any excess powder. So I'll use this one. The big one is just my all over face brush, get it and go. For blushes, I have a lot of brushes. I have 2 angle brushes, and that's when I'm just trying to be more precise with the blush. Lately I've been going for this circle swoop look, and this one works for it. The angle brushes, I have this Sigma, I think this is the E40, it's coming off, but I do believe this is the E40. This is a BH Cosmetics set one. Then I have these round ones that I like to use. This is from the BH Cosmetic Eco-Friendly set, and this is a Jessup one. I don't know what this one is. It's coming up. Oh, this is the large tapered face one. Of course, we don't use it for the face. I use it for the blush. This is just when I want to just get blush right in that spot, and I don't really want to go anywhere else. I'll use these 2. This right here, I used to use this brush for blush. This is the Sigma Dual Fiber 50 brush. I would never use this for like anything else, but I'm very disappointed with this brush. This is my second Sigma dual fiber brush like this, and both of them shedded, and I'm like really disappointed with Sigma for that, because I spent a lot of money on this stupid brush and they shed, and I get upset, so I don't use them. For highlight, I have 3 brushes. So I have this Jessup one. This is a highlight brush. You know, it just gets you where you want it to be. It's very precise. And then I have 2 fan brushes. So this is the e.l.f. fan brush, and this is a Crown one. Yes, this is the Crown BRC N36. Yes. No? Yes, this is a Crown brush. I'm sorry, the numbers are confusing me. This is a Crown one. This is an e.l.f. one. This one I use for my more my very, very, very pigmented ones, like my Becca ones. Definitely use this for Becca because it's so pigmented. I want to pick up a little at a time, and I feel like this one's a little bit, it'll pick up less product, so I can build. This one is a bit more heavy, but now that I've learned how to maneuver this, I can actually use this for my Becca as well. But I love this fan brush. I like a all over, especially in the summer, like I told you, I like an all over bronze and glow. This is definitely an all over bronze and glow. So just swoop everywhere that I want to glow, be glowy, 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 and go. So that's what I use this one for. Finally, foundation brushes. I have a lot of foundation brushes. I have tried so many different kinds, and I use different brushes for different things. But the main one that you've seen me use in the past, I want to say 2 months, is the Morphe M439 brush. I love this brush. I love how soft it is. I love how it applies to my foundation. There is no streak marks. There are no, it's just flawless makeup. And I don't wear like heavy foundation, so I like to use a lighter foundation, and I just love how this applies that lightweight foundation that I like. That's a bit less pricey than this one. This brush alone is probably like $15, I believe. I did get it from Ricky's. I did not get it off the site. Ricky's does sell Morphe brushes, so. But the Reels Technique one, this is the Reels Technique buffering brush. This is also a really good buffering brush. I loved how soft it is. This is another one that doesn't leave streaks, it doesn't leave marks, it doesn't leave any of that. So that's been my thing. This is another brush that I use. This is actually a concealer brush, but when I want to spot foundation, like sometimes I'll try new foundations, I'll get samples of it, I'll just use this to like spot it, so that, you know, I'm placing it everywhere. And then a lot of my foundations, if it doesn't have a pump, I don't like to pour it out. I can get crazy. So lately I've been taking this and, you know, getting it out and then applying it to the face and then buffering it out. If you want more affordable brushes, I believe that these 2 are the most affordable foundation brushes that I own. This is the e.l.f. powder brush, but of course I use it for foundation. A lot of people use it for foundation. It is a decent brush. It can be a bit streaky, but then again, it is a bit of a cheaper brush, so the quality might not be as good, but you're just gonna have to really buff it in. It is $3. I did get it from Target. This is a Crown one. This is the, no, this is a Coastal Scents one. This is BR-110. This is one of the first buffering brushes that I have. These are always on sale. They're like $7. They're really great brushes. These do not streak. I really do like these. I haven't used it in a long time, and that's probably because I have so many brushes, I forget sometimes what I have. So we're gonna start buying brushes. The brush that I feel is more equivalent to the M439 brush that I'm using right now is the face buffering brush from Makeup Geek. They feel just about the same. Yes, just about the same, and they both do the same thing. This is another one that doesn't streak. This is another affordable product. Actually, they might be about the same price. Yeah, they should be about the same price. I'm gonna try to link all of these in the description box below, guys, so don't worry about the prices. But yes, they do the same job. I like them both equally as much as the other. I've just been reaching for this one more. It's a bit fatter and it gets the job done a little bit quicker. So That's all of the brushes. There are so many. I hope that this video really helped you guys out and was really informative. Don't forget, I'm gonna try to leave everything that I talked about here in the description box below, the sets that I talked about and things like that. I'm also going to leave in the description box below, if you have not already seen it, the video on how I clean my brushes. So make sure to check that out. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys.